Apple TV has become the category leader. We've sold over 25 million units just so far. That's Apple TV will reinvent the way that you watch television, and this is just the beginning.
Take a good look at that cable box in your home or office because it might just be the next antique. Thanks to rising costs, incredibly bad customer service, and a zillion other alternatives, cable television is on life support. And if you've ever tried to call your cable rep and get a straight answer, this might be the best news for broadcast viewers since the invention of the remote control. But maybe not for everybody. Be comfortably seated. Remember that we are now in control. Our guest is the senior tech editor for Business Insider. Steve Kovach joins us today. Steve, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Here we go. Steve comes right out of the Huffington Post, the Washington Post. Everybody's got it. Netflix crushing cable TV. The end of cable television. It's all good. Wait a minute. We've kind of heard these things before, but they might be true this time, right?
Well, cable's going to be okay in the long term. I mean, people, especially for stuff like live sports and stuff like that, you're going to need a cable subscription for that. What's happening here is the big networks like HBO, even CBS, and then of course there's Netflix doing its own thing. They're slowly realizing the habits and the way people watch TV are changing. They want to watch the one or two networks that they really enjoy, and they don't want to be paying $100 or more a month for all that extra stuff that they're not watching anyway. And so that's why you're seeing what was announced on Monday. HBO announced this new standalone streaming product called HBO Now, and that gives you the option to pay $15 a month, and you get all the HBO programming. The new shows, as soon as they go live, they're pretty much live right over this new streaming product too. And this is a way for people who maybe don't want to pay for cable to get all those great shows that they'd usually have to wait to buy on DVD or on iTunes several months later.
All right, now let's go ahead and try something here. And this is one of the great exercises here in the new world, if you will, of media. Because people out there, the consumers, are sitting there, they're being charged by cable companies who 9 times out of 10, they'll bundle up the internet service and they'll also have the cable there, so you got to get everything at once. Okay, now there's a huge chunk of money that's there. But what we're talking about now is you pay a couple of bucks for Netflix, you pay a couple of bucks for HBO, you pay a couple of bucks for something else. So eventually, it's all got to come down that internet line. So one way or another, don't the cable companies have you? Because if they control the internet line, you may not buy their cable, but they're going to get you in the end run one way or another because you're going to have to a la carte everything.
Right, and they are charging more and more for internet access, especially if you want the higher speed tiers. So if you do want to be streaming a lot of video in your home, you're going to have to pay a little bit extra to get those higher speed tiers. But right now, it's still cheaper than regular cable. You know, if you have a cable subscription for say $45 to $50 a month, and then you subscribe to Netflix, Hulu, which are $8 a month each, and then this new HBO Now thing, which is $15, you're still paying a lot less than a lot of cable packages on top of the internet service you're already getting. So for a lot of people who don't need to watch everything and binge watch everything, this is a great option for them.
I want to know exactly what cable company you have that's $45 or $50 a month. I'm sure that's
Time Warner.
I haven't found one of those. It certainly hasn't been in our area. We got to check that out. But does this say that people are looking for alternatives because the alternatives are better? The networks themselves are offering boring program. I mean, what's the real reason why people are turning to these a la carte services?
Well, it's not boring program, it's just too much. We're flooded with, zillions of channels that you just don't watch, yet you're paying for them. And if you think about the stuff in your own habits every day, what do you watch? A couple news channels, Comedy Central, AMC, HBO, the main networks, NBC and CBS, which you can get for free, by the way, over the air if you have an HD antenna. And so people with the internet, people are realizing, wow, I don't need to be paying all this extra money just to watch the handful of channels and the handful of shows that I'm really watching. And you can save a ton of money that way. And I think that's the way it's shifting. And we're finally seeing the networks, HBO being the biggest example now, pay attention to that and really embrace this trend. And it's going to be a big revenue generator for them because they're going to adapt to this whole new generation of people my age and younger who are starting to watch TV this way.
Fair to say that Netflix, not long ago, they were in financial difficulty, if I do remember right, and then all of a sudden things started to turn for them. But Netflix really is the elephant in the room right now, are they not?
Yeah, and their success is mostly on, they pioneered this. They were able to bring a lot of TV shows that were on other networks already and show old seasons so you can sit there and binge watch, which also had a residual effect. You watch Breaking Bad, the first couple seasons on Netflix, and then all of a sudden it comes back on AMC and you're back on AMC watching it through cable. So there are some nice effects for the cable industry there too. But yeah, Netflix really got it started. They started as this DVD delivery service and then realized, wow, this is not the future. The future is putting all this stuff online. And the next step for them is to stop relying so much on other people's content and create their own stuff. And that's why we see successful shows like House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, and a bunch of original documentaries and comedy series. They're really competing with HBO more than just regular cable networks.
Yeah, binge watching also had another effect too, is people unable to get out of the couch because of too many nachos and too many ding-dongs. I think that might be part of it.
Yeah, that'll happen.
If you're watching those 20-hour, 30-hour marathons here. Hey, a couple minutes we got left here. Quickly on a couple of other tech issues here. There's a new app that supposedly is going to replace email. I believe it's a Slack app is what it is. Is this really something that can replace email?
Yeah, actually, at my company, we use Slack. It's its core, it's a chatting app. So think of it as like the old school chat rooms with a new fresh coat of paint on it. And the reason why people are saying, and I've written this too, are saying that it can replace email, especially for intra-office communications. I mean, think about how many emails you get a day from your coworkers. This puts it all in one nice place. You can direct message people. You can swap files easily through services like Dropbox, and it's much easier and keeps your real inbox a lot tidier to the stuff that's coming from outside the company and for the stuff that actually matters. In fact, I did an experiment. I took a week off for vacation, and I didn't check email the entire time, and I had over 1,000 messages waiting for me, and I realized fewer than 3% of those messages I actually needed to look at, and a lot of that's because of Slack.
Steve, I don't believe you one bit that you went away on vacation, you never touched your email. Come on. Own up.
No, I did it. It was.
You did
it
something
worked.
cathartic that nobody else here can do. Quick, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
An app now to cure depression I'm hearing about? What is this?
Yeah, I mean, this is just one of many apps. I mean, we saw Apple announce this week called Research Kit, and that app that you're talking about is one that's using music to test people's moods. And I think this is just part of a big trend that we're starting to see, that these smartphones that we carry around with us, they have so many great sensors with them and capabilities that they're finding new health uses for them. And so whether it's mood improvement or checking heart rate and stuff like that, smartphones are going to be medical devices before long. That's pretty interesting.
If only they could come up with an app to cure Congress, and maybe we'd be ahead of things. Okay, but wait a minute. That's something altogether different. Steve, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll do it again soon.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Medicare, Medicaid, there's a difference, and in the end, it's all about the bucks. That's next on Midpoint.